Hello everyone, welcome to Junior Church. Today we're going to think about a special story about a boy who was in bed when God spoke to him. So I'm going to sit up so I can focus on what I'm supposed to be talking about more easily. So I want to tell you the story of Samuel. Now Samuel was a boy, and at the time of the stories in the Bible, he was living in the temple, and this story happens at night. So Samuel was in his bed, and while he was lay in his bed, there was a voice that spoke to him. The voice said, "Samuel, Samuel." So Samuel got up, and he thought it must be Eli, who was his guardian, who was looking after him. So he went to see Eli, and Eli himself was in bed. And Samuel said, "Yes, Eli, what do you want?" And Eli said, "I didn't call you, Samuel. Go back to bed." So that's what Samuel did. And then a second time, the voice spoke to Samuel. It said, "Samuel, Samuel." So again, Samuel got up and he went to see Eli, and he said, "Yes, Eli, what do you want?" And Eli said, "It wasn't me, Samuel. Go back to bed." So that's what Samuel did. And for the third time, while Samuel was still laying in bed, the voice spoke to him again, and it said, "Samuel, Samuel." So Samuel again went to see Eli, his guardian, and Eli said, "Samuel, it wasn't me who spoke to you." But this time, you see, Eli realised what must be happening. And Eli said to him, "You know what, Samuel? It must be God who's speaking to you. So the next time the voice speaks to you, say, 'Yes, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went back to bed, and he was laying in bed when the voice spoke to him a fourth time, and he said, "Samuel, Samuel." And this time Samuel sat up in bed and went, "Yes, Lord, your servant is listening." And then this time the voice told Samuel a special message, and he gave him a special role to play. Now this story is a very important story, and it tells us two really important things. The first one is that it doesn't matter how old we are, God has special plans for all of us. Now in the older person church today, they're looking at two people called Anna and Simeon, and they're really old, and God had a special role for them to play. But here in this story, of course, we're thinking about Samuel, who was just a boy, but God still had a special role for him to play. So that's our first lesson. It doesn't matter how old we are, God has special plans, special roles for each of us to play. And then the second one, of course, is, again, it doesn't matter who we are, it doesn't matter if we wear fancy collars and funny clothes, God can speak to anybody. God can have a special role and a special message for any of us. So there Samuel was, lay in his bed when God spoke to him. And God can speak to any of us, especially when he's got special things that he wants us to do. So that's our story for today. When Samuel was laying in bed and God spoke to him and gave him a special role to play. So always remember, it doesn't matter young or old, rich or poor, black or white, any of us can serve God in some special ways when he speaks to us. Now we're going to do a craft to remember that Samuel was in his bed when God spoke to him. But I'm going to go into the other room to do the craft, so I'll see you over there. Bye bye. Right then, for our craft today, we need a few things. You need to print out this sheet of paper, which you should find on the internet, that will be on the circuit website. Hopefully it's easy to find. And then you'll need some scissors. You see I've got a big pair, and I've also got a little pair of nail scissors, because there's a little bit of difficult cutting that we need to do, which needs the little scissors as well. And then on top of that, we've got some colours. So you'll see we're going to colour in Samuel in bed, and I'll start doing that, and I'll talk to you a little bit as we go, because there's one or two other things I need to tell you. So I'm going to colour in Samuel's face. You'll see I'm doing it a browny colour, because Samuel would obviously have much darker skin than me, coming from where he came from. Now, once you've coloured in the face, also here on this bit, which I'll show you what to do later, make sure you cover the same colour over the eyes, because they're going to be important in a little bit. Okay. Right, I'm going to give him nice thick black hair. Now, once you've done the colouring of the bed, there's one more bit that you need to do, and that's above each, over here, where you've coloured in the brown for the face, for the eyes there, you also need to do the same colouring above each of these lines of text. So we've done half and half, red and yellow, so I'm going to do the same above here. So half and half, red and yellow there, and here, and here. And you'll see why in a minute. Right, so we've done all the colouring. The next thing we need to do is cut out both halves on the sheet. So I'm going to do that. We'll speed it up, obviously. Right then, and now we need to swap to the little scissors. Now you'll see on the drawing there's just some little grey lines, and you'll see the symbol, scissor symbol there. Now you need to do the top bit and the bottom bit wherever the scissors are, so wherever the scissor symbol is, so you can you'll see why. And you just need to do the two bits, the two strips. So you don't need to take it out, you just need to cut along the top and the bottom. Now, I turn the camera off for the cutting because it's not very easy. You'll probably have to get some help to do that. But I've now, you see, got slits on each of those all the way across, and on each of those, and the one for the eyes as well. Now, what you then need to do is take the smaller piece, or the thinner piece anyway, and we're going to feed through one slit at a time. So you go in the bottom slit and then out the top one, and then you go in the bottom slit and out the top one. And we're going to do the same. It gets a bit tricky now because the pieces are getting wider. Here we go, in and out. There we have it. So it wasn't easy, was it? But there you have it. So there Samuel is in bed, but then when you pull it at the top, he wakes up and he says, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." Asleep. Samuel, Samuel. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. Oh, you had fun with that. It's not easy, but have fun putting it together. And take care, everyone. See you again soon. Bye.